when I started doing it, I realized I didn't know much of anything. I knew how to be a realtor, I knew how to be a mortgage broker, but I didn't know how to be an investor. And so when I started to learn how to do that, I stepped through the room, and all of a sudden life changed. And, you know, there's a lot that you need to know to be an investor. So if you're wanting to change your life, you know, you want that hands-on mentorship, which really helped me. There was an education that I got working with people, and there was the community that we worked with. And then I realized, of course, it was a lot of hard work. Okay? And if you don't do that hard work, then you don't become successful. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to share a little bit about what our vision is, and that is to help people really learn how to become investors. And if you are an investor, to give you opportunities to expand that business. And we're going to do that not only here, but throughout the country. We are live streaming this event this evening, and we'll be doing that over and over again as we go through this. And so the opportunities are here. The question is, are you wanting to step over that threshold into a new place? I know I did, and it really changed my life. And if you're willing to do that, and you're willing to do the work that's required to make it happen, then all of a sudden you're going to find that there's a different future for you. Okay? What I'd like to do now is introduce actually the founder of Make Money Now, and my partner in this whole thing. And we're trying to really just create a whole new environment for people to understand what it takes to be an investor. So without further ado, Mr. Gary Masseri.
All right, I'm hoping this will work. You guys are really crazy coming out here in all the rain. Good thing we had pizza, right? Make it worth your while. Let's see if this little thing, I can just sit up here and let it work a little bit. We'll try it. How's that? Looks like I got a lot of serious investors here tonight. How many guys are investors? How many guys want to be investors? How many guys want to retire with, you know, financial freedom and great positive cash flows and never make a mistake in a bad deal? Right? Well, let me tell you why, you know, the concept of creating and the vision that I have for a network doing a meetup group. And here's what came to me. As I started interviewing a lot of people that wanted to be real estate investors, I was finding out that people were spending a lot of money and they were upset because they weren't making any money. And I talked to people, seriously, that were spending upwards to $65,000 and $75,000. And one lady, I said, "You got to be kidding. You spent that much." And she said the problem that they were having is that they were given good education, but there was no support. There's no hands-on mentorship. And I had one guy who came to this country, okay, became a citizen, and crazy thing happened is that he tapped into his 401k and spent all the money he had on real estate education and ended up working at McDonald's. That's pretty sad, isn't it? So I kept thinking, how can I create, you know, a group or an organization where people can come together and it's a safe haven? Nobody pitches anybody. Nobody sells to anybody. Would that be cool? You could say whatever you want, not get in trouble, right? And not pitch somebody. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if I can help people connect to one another and build relationships of connection? Would that be cool? And I thought, geez, if we can invite private money lenders and hard money lenders and, you know, and wholesalers and rehabbers and, you know, and buy and hold, and wouldn't it be cool if we could bring people together like that? And then I thought, wait a minute, if we can give them hands-on mentorship, would that be cool? Where they can come to somebody and say, "Hey, look at this contract for me. Is this a good deal, bad deal, or what have you?" Now, we can't take the responsibility of that. Obviously, we won't be sued. But we can look at it for you and let you know what you're doing wrong and let you know what you're doing right. Would that be cool? Somebody that's done a lot of deals overlooked your shoulder and kind of helped you write that. Maybe helps you with 3 exit strategies and maybe looked at some financing for you. Can be really cool, right? It's hard to get financing when you first start out. You guys know that, right? Okay. So what do you think? Is hands-on mentorship a good thing? Yes or no? What they say in the coaches, I'm a coach, they go, yes and yes. Okay. All right. The second pillar that I thought about is, can we offer affordable education? Well, what's affordable education? It's an education that allows you to learn the business, to minimize your risk and maximize your success. Would that be pretty good? Without spending a fortune, right? Where you can literally take a very small investment of your money or time, and you can learn how to do bird dogs and wholesales, and you're going to learn all the analytics. See, when you first start in real estate, you may have this big dream of owning all these shopping strips and all these multifamily buildings, but I'm going to tell you the truth. You need to start out bird dogging and wholesaling. Why? Because you learn the analytics. You learn how to do a market comparable analysis. Is that cool? After repair value? Because that's really what sets it off, right? And then you're going to learn what after that? You're going to learn how to analyze the cost of repair or updating the property. And then you're going to learn how to write the contract so you don't get in trouble. And maybe come up with some exit strategies if that particular strategy didn't work. Would that be cool? And then you're going to learn how to set an entity up so if something does go wrong, you don't lose everything. And then your wife don't have to say to you, why did you get into that thing? I told you not to do it. Are you with me? Right? So, affordable education. You need some type of education to know what you're doing. To analyze that, to see if it's profitable. See, the money is made in the analytics. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, it's not made when you close the escrow. Okay, it's made analyzing the deal. Okay? So we're going to put a lot of work in helping you analyze the deal. Would that be okay? Yeah, right? And then what about a great community of support? Of people you know, like, and trust. Would that be cool? Because you come together and you learn from each other and you meet each other and you start connecting with people. Would that be cool? Now, what if we took this concept that we're teaching you right now, and what if we live streamed that in some of the hottest markets in the United States? It's never been done before in a real estate group that I know of. Okay? People are on radio, and yes, they're on social media. By the way, I own a social media company called 30-Minute Millionaire Marketing. Okay? So I know about social media, just a little bit. Written some books that went viral on me. By accident, I didn't know it was going to go viral. Right? So I know a little bit about marketing. Here's what I want to say to you. Nobody has ever live streamed out of area to bring deals in the local area to you. Would that be cool? Yeah. That would be really, really cool. And how about if you guys had deals that you can live stream that out to other areas? See, tonight we got people from Philadelphia. Hey, Brian, woohoo, watching this. Is that cool? Yeah? We got Keith, Cowboy Keith down in San Diego. Hey, Keith, how you doing? He's on this live stream right now watching this, right? I hope the audio's working, okay? Right? Hey! And then we got Lori up in Denver. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Woohoo! Right? So, and then we got Kobe and Mark down there in Houston. And I'm telling you, the deals that Kobe's getting are crazy good. I mean, he just closed one for $72,000. Is that a good deal? In Houston. He's doing like one or two of these a month. He's in his mid-30s. He's already broken the $100,000 a month. Is that pretty cool? Yeah. We got another guy in Houston doing single families. His deal he's closing this month, it's already on our Facebook site. If you want to find out about it, it's all there. It's all social proof. He's got a $75,000 check coming from one deal. Is that cool? Would you guys like to tap into markets like that? Do you think Vegas is going to be a slow market or an exploding market? With the Raiders going down there? Yes or no? Would you like to have some partners in Vegas? Would that be cool? So if we can bring this to you and then send it out into a community that you guys are locked into on a nationwide basis, would you just tell a few people about it? Would that be cool? And what if we brought you some incredible publicity? I have over 220,000 followers. Is that cool? Do you think I might be able to promote you a little bit and help you out a little bit? I have over 14,000 followers just on LinkedIn alone. Is that pretty cool? I'm ranked in the, top 3 in the world in LinkedIn. Is that cool? Do you think I might be able to help you a little bit with your branding and your brand message and your profiles? Just a little bit, right? So I'm the marketing guy. I guess you can figure that out, right? Frank's the money man. She's the money queen. Okay. People, nobody's ever done this before. This is an amazing thing. And I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. I think this was designed for the person with the least amount of knowledge to come here and learn from experts. And don't get trapped into a lot of debt. Tonight I'm going to teach you guys how to create wealth through funding. Because if you have the right funding and you know what to do with it, game over. The deals are out there. Game over. If you have the right funding behind you and you know how to do it. And how would you like to own real estate with no mortgages? Would that be cool? Do you think if we have an up and down in the market and market volatility comes along and there's another crash like 207, 208, but who gives a shit? Excuse me. I got some big people watching this tonight. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, who gives a shit? Because why? The market can't take it from you. You're not going to be upside down. The mortgage isn't going to be greater in value than what? The house. Why? Because we're going to teach you tonight how to not only create equity in a property, but how to tap it without exposing it. Would that be cool? Yeah. And what if we can accelerate your retirement in a 4 to 6 year plan? Would that be cool? Right? I think that would be really cool. You don't have to have a $3-4 million portfolio that's leaking out at 2-4%. Or, it's doing good right now. I got stocks, okay? 15-18% yields are pretty good, aren't you think, Julian?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's not bad, right? But you know what we have? We have appreciation. In the next 2 or 3 years, it's forecasted. There's places right now getting 18%. It's crazy wild. It's not going to last forever, right? Is timing everything? Yeah. So would you guys invite a few people back if we teach you this tonight? And show you a few things about how to get going in this business? Would that be cool? We'll pack this room out, and then we'll go get a hotel room. And then anytime we're going to pack out Houston, we're going to pack out Philadelphia, we're going to pack out San Diego, and we're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going, right? And we'll have the largest network of real estate investors and associates. You associates are important. We got a person here that's travel. You guys are important to us. It's an open arms for everybody. You guys say yay to that? Yay. Is that cool? All right, what else we got? Denise, you got the schedule. I'm done. We're going to start the...
We have Mark coming up.
He's not here, so are we going to get everybody introduced?
We can do that, or I can talk a little bit about real estate if you want.
Well, let's get everybody introduced, okay? Come on. Let's get everybody introduced to everybody. We want you guys to know each other. Is that pretty cool? And later we're going to do some speed networking, right? Let me share one story real quick, and she's going to come up and get everybody introduced. One of the greatest connections I've ever had was a mentor that when I got into real estate, it was a long time ago, I won't tell you how long ago. And what was cool about this is this gentleman took me aside, set me down, and gave me all the marketing and education I needed to become a top producing realtor. And I got so good at it, I became the top trainer in a mortgage company with 58 branches, right, with over 1,200 loan officers. And I actually mentored and taught over 3,000 realtors and loan officers to become top producers. Is that pretty cool? Yeah, because one guy. Now, let me finish the story. That connection, 25 years later, I got in a bad partnership. Sometimes we do that. And guess what happened? I was so stressed and just wanted to walk out of it. It was that bad. And I called my buddy up and said, hey, Glenn, I got this vision to grow this company, San Francisco Bay Mortgage Company, all over the Bay Area. I've got this logo. I've got the name branded. I'm ready to go. He said, I've got the same vision you got. He was in Texas when I called him that night. He flew back the next day, met with me for breakfast on a handshake, made me a partner in a company that was doing $15 million a month in sales immediately. And I was their top trainer. That's where I trained all those loan officers and realtors. Is that cool? One connection from 25 years ago changed my life radically. Are connections important? Yes or yes? Yeah. Very important. All right, let's start beating each other. Okay. Here you go. You got to have the mic here. Thank you guys for coming.
I know what the mic is now.
I'm going to come over here so I can sit down.
Okay. Okay, so you see the layout right here, and we'll start over here with you, Ralph. We're going to ask for your name, where you're from, name of the business, what do you do, and kind of give you some ideas there to work with. Whoops. So, we're going to have about 20 seconds, and I am going to kind of time it because we do have a good little schedule here going on. Okay?
Hi, my name is Ralph Davac. I am the owner of Solid Ground Properties. I am out of Livermore. and I am actually a student of wholesaling and of the whole realty investment business. I am still waiting to do my first deal, but I'm here to learn everything that I can. I'm here to learn as many people as I possibly can, and there's my business cards. Get a hold of me. Let's talk. Let's see what we can do for each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you for coming.
Alrighty.
Just grab it and pass it down.
Yep. My name's Russ Merchant. I'm from the Castro Valley area, and I've come through Maryland, Ohio, and here. And I haven't finalized the name of the business, and I've done investing in Ohio, but I haven't done any here in the Bay Area because I was a little bit sticker shocked when I got here. So I'm after my first deal here in the Bay Area.
Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Gusty Clark and I am the proud owner of Prime Meridian Travel under the umbrella of Prime Meridian Enterprises, and I am out of Martinez, California, and I am looking to begin in flipping properties.
Great. Thanks. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharma. I am from San Ramon. I'm a full-time real estate investor for the past 6 months. And I am actually in a deal already. I've got a deal in San Jose downtown, so I'm really excited about that. My company's name is Zuma Properties, so you can look it up, zumaproperties.com. And I'm an investor. I'm doing flips, looking for more deals and make connections and make money together.
Alrighty, thank you.
Hey everyone, nice to meet everyone. My name is Chang-Gil Kim. I'm from Walnut Creek, and I'm from Merrill Lynch. What I do is I'm a financial advisor, but I used to also be a mortgage broker, so I specialize in mortgages also, and specialized financing.
Alright, hi, I'm Kelvin Q from Dublin, so I'm pretty new to this. I work full-time, so looking to get into this, just like real estate side of the house. So still learning everything, first time coming out to one of these. So definitely have lots to learn from everyone. Hoping to meet everyone soon. So
Perfect. Welcome.
Awesome, welcome.
Hello, my name is D'Angelo Gilton. I'm from San Francisco. I'm actually a marketing consultant for an entertainment company called Legend Live Forever Entertainment. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of it, but I am a marketing consultant for them. I've been doing that for maybe 4 years, and I'm just trying to get into, real estate and investing in real estate.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Patrick Yee. Born and raised in France, but I live right now in Castro Valley. I'm a full-time real estate investor, fix and flip, buy and hold, and anything in between. So I'm looking forward to meet with you and hopefully do something together. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sébastien Collat. I'm also French. I work in San Jose for a private money lender. It's Stonecrest Financial, 30 years in existence. What we do is we provide financing solution for your project. We have some very interesting product, especially for investors, such as a line of credit. So if you want any information about that, I will be happy to send you some information.
Hi everyone, my name is Kimani Palmer. I'm here with my girlfriend Jackie. We're both students, and we decided to, kind of start now and learn to invest in things so we can prepare for our future together. And yeah.
Cool. That's great.
How old are you?
I'm 21. She's 19.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Roger Tan. I'm with HP Investments out of Rohnert Park. We do mortgage loan origination, and I've been doing that for about 10 years now. So just wanted to come and check this thing out, and maybe we can all do some deals together.
Hi, I'm Erin Lamb. I'm from Brentwood, and I'm an investor. I have several investing partners around the country that I invest with. We do some owner financing and some wholesaling, and some notes. And so I'm investing with my partners, but want to branch out and kind of do my own deals. So.
Hello, everyone. My name is Reginald McCauley from Newark, California, and my business is Mackey McCauley Real Estate, and I do flips and wholesales as well.
Hi, my name is Solomon Mackey, also part of Mackey McCauley. I'm also an agent in the Bay Area here. Been working in real estate for the last 3 or 4 years, doing property management, real estate, sales, everything, pretty much everything to it. Located in Newark, hoping to do some more investing here soon.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Arvind Setia. I'm local here from San Ramon. I own a B2B lead generation company, pretty much work with the tech companies as an outsourced lead generation company for them. Nothing to do with real estate. I have no knowledge of real estate investing so far. I'm here to learn the same. Thank you.
Hello all, I'm Matt Tews. I work with Movement Mortgage, been a mortgage lender since '03, doing 4-unit properties and under, so looking for some opportunity to try to get some guys into more permanent financing or strategic planning around mortgages.
Hey everyone, my name is Snake Wong. I'm a web developer. I came to just kind of learn about how real estate works. I'm trying to get my feet wet and just learn as much as I can.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I grew up in Oakland, now still living in the East Bay. I work as a corporate accountant for a real estate company out in San Francisco, and I'm here just to learn more about investing and just starting off.
Hi, I'm Julian. I'm local here. I'm from Danville, and I'm with Pivotal Capital Group. We're a direct lender financing fix and flip, bridge loans, and ground-up constructions for redevelopers locally. And I'm looking to build relationships.
Excuse me. We have 2 new people that just came in. Let me have them introduce themselves.
How's it going, Frank?
How are you?
Good, good. Ooh, don't want to drop the mic. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Ryan Sanders with Fresh Real Estate Investing. Coming from Fremont, California, not originally from the state. I'm from Idaho originally. Other than investing, I'm a full-time personal fitness, nutrition, lifestyle coach.
Cool. Hello, everybody. My name is Al Hanna. I am a resident of East Palo Alto, California, and professional truck driver by trade, and I just learned about Renatus through my compadre here, Ryan, and just signed on as an IMA and looking forward to getting going in 2018.
Cool. All right.
Welcome. Cool.
Okay. Do I kind of walk behind you or in front of you? Alrighty. Well, thank you all for sharing. And again, towards the end, we will have about 10-15 minutes to actually interact and talk. But in the meantime, you can kind of reflect in your mind who you would like to, chat with. What we're going to do now is I'm going to introduce
Frank.
Frank. Okay. So Frank's going to discuss some things with us. Okay. We've changed our little schedule here a little bit for the better.
Some things. Oh my God, that light is just wow. That just went into my eyes. That's crazy. So what I wanted to do is just spend a minute or two and talk a little about New heating unit, which are pretty heavy, by the way, going this direction. And what do you think that does to the roof?
Sags it down.
Does one of these. Okay? Then where the house itself that was there before was on a raised foundation. The addition they did was on a slab. But what they didn't do is to support the transition where the slab and the raised foundation meet. So what happened at this point is that, with all the rain and stuff we were getting, the house started to do this. And then the addition they did was a 27-foot span, and so they were supposed to put trusses to, maintain it. So the back of the house roof was also doing one of these. So we met him again, signs. You see these signs on the street, we buy houses cheap and all that. Well, some of them are mine, by the way. So, so we met with the owner and, had a conversation with him. It was a really good conversation. He was, he understood that, he was screwed here. But he didn't understand how screwed he was. And so I had to instruct him how that was. Because he thought it was going to only take about $20,000, $30,000 to fix. And I knew right away, with all the structural things that I was seeing, that this was more expensive to do. So I brought in 3 contractors and required him to be there when the contractors came. And he was okay with that. So he came in. We got bids of $90,000, $100,000. And so I offered him $350,000. And he goes, no, I'm going to lose $100,000. I said, that's fine, but if you continue to do this, you're going to lose a lot more because you don't know how to fix it. So we negotiated. We picked it up for $390,000. Okay? Took us about 6 months to do the structural work. I had some offers, but I had a friend of mine who's a loan officer who wanted the property. We did a lease option with him, so he paid all my expenses for the last 5 months. And it's actually closing on February 5th, and we sold it for $620,000. Okay? For a profit of approximately net profit of about $78,000 to $82,000. Don't have the exact number yet. Plus, again, for the last several months, it hasn't cost me a penny. And guess what he's been doing along the way? He's been improving it. So it all worked out pretty well. The question is, can you guys do this? Can anybody in this room think they can't do that? It can be done. It is being done. And the thing is, you just have to get off your tush and do it. Okay, I can use the word tush. You use the word you're not supposed to use. Okay. Knowledge, it requires mentorship, it just requires a skill set. If you have that skill set, if you have the knowledge, if you have the people to work with, then all of a sudden this becomes something that you can do. If you want to try it on your own, go for it. Okay? But you'll be sorry in some cases. Sometimes you get lucky. Okay? But this is not a luck game. This is a game to really do things and to make it work for you. This is a business. If you treat it like a business, then all of a sudden life changes. If you treat it as a hobby, it won't change. Okay? And then, finding the money to do these transactions is also very important. You have to have that money. I raised $530,000 to do this transaction. It took me about a week. Okay? These are people that I had done business with before. They knew what I was capable of doing. I made a phone call, told them what I was doing, showed them some numbers. They didn't even see the house. They just knew that they were working with me. We're in. Okay? Borrowed the money, hard money, got it for 9.5%, 1.5 points, and they paid for 100% of the rehab. Pretty crazy. And that's, again, because they knew who I was. And this is something that you can do. It is done, and you have to do it. So don't be afraid to step forward, but make sure that you have that support system to back you up. Okay? And when you deal with finances, you have to understand how money works. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce Gary coming back up here, and he's going to talk a little bit about something that is really not taught to us. It's how to use money properly. How to pay your debt off by using the bank's money to help you pay off your debt. What a concept. Okay? People don't understand it, and some of what he's going to talk about tonight may go over your head.
No, it won't.
Well, maybe it will.
No.
Okay, it won't. Gary's going to do a good job in explaining it all to you. But the point is, if you understand it, and it might take a day or two or a week or two to understand it, but once you get it, it's like anything else. You ride a bike, you know, you fall down a few times, but you keep on getting up. And eventually you figure out how to do it. And that's what we call it velocity banking, or, you know, changing the way you think about money. So what I'm going to do now is bring Gary back up and make him tell us how this particular wonderful system actually works. All right, Gary, you're on.
Frank, you're amazing. Now you see why I partnered with the guy is amazing, huh? Now you didn't tell him about the deal that we did about six weeks. Can I just share that real quick? Yeah. So this is how we do it, by working. I'm just hoping this thing is on, right?
It's on.
Okay. This is where we talk about community and working together. See. So in one of our meetup groups, this lady comes up to me and she introduces herself, and and I liked her. She was a great lady. We had a good time talking. She calls me up out of the blue and she said, "Gary, I need $25,000 to finish this rehab." And I said, "I just met you." She goes, "But Gary, here's the deal. My clients are in trouble because we got them a hard money loan and they spent it and didn't finish paying the contractors off. And they're going to lose this home." And then she starts talking. Oh, this guy had 4 cancers, and I said, "Marie, stop. I don't invest money unless I control the property or own the property." She kept on and on and on. I can tell this lady was fighting for her client. Sometimes you can just sense that, right? Your intuition, right? And I said, "I'll tell you what." And I just threw this at her because I didn't know whether to help her or get rid of her. So I said, "Lorraine, here's the deal. I'll give you the $25,000, but I want $50,000 back. And I want a deed of trust and a promissory note and a letter of intent." She goes, "Okay." I said, "What?" She goes, "Okay." "Are you serious?" She goes, "Yeah." So guess what happened? That was 6 weeks ago. Tonight she's presenting 11 offers. So I call my buddy Frank up and I go, "Frank, you want to take care of this stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." So Frank says, "Well, how about if I cut you in for 10 so you can make 20? He goes, "That's a great deal. I'll take 15 to make 30, but he'll cut in 10 and he's going to do all the paperwork. I don't have to even worry about it. Is that a good deal?" Why did I do that? I could have wrote her the check for 25. Why did I do that? Because I had somebody else look at it because I thought it was too good to be true. And I wanted a second pair of eyes on that, right? Wouldn't you do that? Mm-hmm. Is that a pretty good? See, real estate is very creative when you put your creative thinking on, your creative hat on, and you're around creative people. Would you agree with that? Yeah. All right, I'm going to teach you something here. Okay, I call it funding and wealth creation. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this. Did you know that 50% of the homes in Australia, are you ready for this, are owned outright? 50% of the homes in Australia are owned outright, yet their average income in Australia compared to the U.S. is like 30% less than ours. How can that be? How can that be? So what they deposit in the bank and what they take out of the bank, kind of like that spread, it's like almost break even. There's hardly any money left over in the daily average. How can that be? Would you like to know how that works? Would you guys like to own property without having debt? Would that be cool? Yeah. And how about if I share with you, if I say something, please don't get mad at me. Do you know the banks are not your friend? Do you know the banks are out for every cent that they could do, and they're using your money to earn money? And they earn billions and billions of dollars using your money? How many guys think I'm screwy? Think I'm right? Ah, you guys are all quiet in here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show it to you. So velocity banking is one of our greatest investment strategies for this one reason. It saves you hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest costs, period. Okay? All right, let's go on. Let's do a little bit of history. By using a personal line of credit and a home equity line, okay, of credit, the borrower can accelerate the payoff of any home mortgage, any student loan, any car loan, and I'm going to teach you how that acceleration works. Would that be okay? All right, and here's the best part. You don't have to change your spending habits, and you don't have to make extra payments. See if you can figure it out. All right. This is done by combining a normal checking account with a line of credit that has the features of a debit card and write checks against, okay? So it's got to be combined to really work. And it can work without combining it by transferring money back and forth, but that doesn't work. I've been doing these type of loans for a long, long time. Had a top radio show called The Bridge, and I taught people financial literacy, and this is one of the things that I taught. And I promise you, when it was automatic, they did it, but when they had to manually do it, they didn't do it. Interest and a portion of principal. Now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and tell you, in the first 5 years, 95% of that payment is interest. Would you guys agree with that? 5% goes towards principal, right? Takes a long time before that thing to equal, right? It's like halfway through the loan, you paid the principal amount that you borrowed almost in interest. Is that crazy? Okay, that's the truth. All right, let's look at the loan definition of a credit line. A credit line is an agreement to lend money up to a specific amount, the credit limit, for a stated period of time. Now, some banks and credit unions allow you over a period of time as long as you're in good standing. They don't have an end date to it, right? Okay. Now, unlike a loan, the borrower can decide how much of the agreed funding, if any, they wish to draw down. Interest is only paid on the amount that they actually borrowed, not the amount that's made available. Does everybody agree with that? Understand that, right? So if somebody gave you a $100,000 credit line and you only borrowed $20,000, you're not paid. You don't have to pay interest on the $100,000. You pay it on the $20,000. Everybody got that, right? I thought so. All right. So what's the major difference here? A credit line gives the borrower access to the borrower's will for any purpose. See, when I taught equity transference as a concept I taught on my radio show, here's the deal. Equity transference is about taking equity out of one property, investing it into another property. But what did you have to do to pull that equity out? Did you have to refinance? Yes or no? Did you have to put maybe a HELOC second on it? Yes or no? You couldn't tap into that equity, could you? And you had to pay what? Loan fees, right? I came out of the mortgage industry, so don't get mad at me, you mortgage guys. Okay, so here's the deal. An equity line allows you the flexibility of going in there and borrowing that money whenever you need the money. How cool is that? So think about that for a minute. So I'm going to show you how to tap into your home's equity as well by using a credit line. So if you have an emergency, okay, boom, you can go in there. Pay off credit debt. Pay off car and boat purchase. What's one of the major things? Pay off purchase rental properties with it. And one of the things I didn't put up there is pay off student loans. I didn't realize how many people are coming out of college really are looking at this, that I get a lot of people, you know, looking me up in the Meetup groups and calling me directly that are college students. About 4 this week. And they all have student loans. All right, an amortized loan does not allow access to the borrower. It will. Payments are fixed over a period of time. I just want to get you the definitions down, then we're going to get into the meat. When a borrower makes a deposit in a credit line, the credit line records this as a payment against the loan. Think about it and reflect on it just a minute here. When you make a deposit into a combined credit line, that deposit becomes your payment. Is that cool? Because most credit lines want about 2% principal paid in addition to the interest. So the deposit becomes your payment. And that there lies how the thing works. That's the magic of it. You don't have to make a loan payment. You make a deposit. Is that cool? And then when you need the money, you write checks and debit cards out of the account, right? Okay. So far, so anybody confused? Pretty simple, right? I told you. Okay. When a borrower withdraws from from their credit line, it's recorded, okay, as a loan, and interest is charged to that account, right? Because the loan balance goes up when you draw money out. When you make a deposit, the loan balance goes down. It's very simple, right? Everybody agree with that, right? So just think of it as your checking account. And that balance is your loan balance, okay? Now, the borrower is only charged for the use of the funds as they need it or use it. So what's velocity banking? When a borrower makes a deposit from the funds that sits in his line of credit account, reducing the loan amount until they use the funds and pay their bills. That money that sits in there is called your daily average. Who uses that money, you or the bank? It's going to shock you because I did a spread. I showed you on a little chart here how much money that is. When you think about the number of people that the banks have, okay, in their deposits, it's huge. Okay, actually, the Federal Reserve had to put a limit of 25%. In other words, the banks cannot lend more than 25% of their reserves just to keep control over it. Otherwise, they probably would. Okay. Meantime, their money is working for them, saving them thousands and thousands of dollars of interest costs. That same money the banks use to make thousands and thousands of dollars of interest. Are you with me? So you want that money. It's your money now. Do you want it working for you, or do you want it working for the banks? Yeah. I don't know about you guys, right? The banks take enough of my money. Velocity banking is not new. Australia, 50% of the homes are what? Bought outright, and they have no mortgage debt, and they use this combined line of credit along with their checking account. It's the same thing I'm showing you right here. It's a phenomenal thing. This is known as mortgage acceleration. Okay. Very few people in America own their homes outright, no mortgage debt. So why is that? Why do people in America not own the smartest country, the wealthiest country, do not own their homes outright? Why? Think about it for a minute. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because you were sold on a payment. You were sold on an interest rate. When somebody comes in and fill out a loan application, what are they looking for? The lowest interest rate and the lowest payment. Am I right? Yes or yes? Yes. Right. They don't think about anything else, do they? Do you know the average person does what? Refinances or sells their home in what? 5 to 7 years, right? So they're always in the 95% cycle and don't realize it. Okay? All right. Because Americans have been taught to focus on monthly payments and not the cost of the loan. There's a difference between a note rate and an effective rate. The effective rate is the use of the money, and the interest is charged for the use of the money. A note rate is what they use to calculate the payments over an amortized schedule, right? I'm doing good so far? Okay. Now, I want to give you a little bit of history here, how powerful this is. 1949, the rise of the mortgage market began with long-term amortization, making home ownership affordable. The government did it to help people move in and buy homes. They didn't do it to rip people off. Okay, let's be square here. All right, now, home ownership, the year that they did that, shot up from 20% to 70% in America in 1 year. Is that a powerful move or what? Huge. That's the history. Okay. What went wrong? Big banks saw it as a money cow, as millions of dollars poured in on interest. And when that first came out, interest rates were 3, 4, 5%. Okay? 95% of the payment in the first 5 years, you already got that, goes towards interest. The interest rate will drop. People started to refinance to lower their payments, so they had to start it all over again to pull that equity out. Okay? They were stuck. As more borrowers purchased homes, the payments to the banks increased, and they had more money to loan. They had mountains and mountains of money to loan. Are you with me? Okay? All right, because of this amortization. All right, the banks went crazy loaning money out to everyone, qualified or not. What happened in 2007, 2008? A lot of crazy stuff was going on, right? I can name banks right now. Probably some of you had their money in that did, because I was in the industry and I owned a mortgage, actually 4 mortgage companies. I saw the fraudulent stuff that would go on. I saw W-2s being made up. I saw 1099s being made up fraudulently. And they did it just to squeeze the loan into the warehouse line. Okay? They packaged it up and sold it into what? Okay, into IRAs. People got hurt bad. Okay? To protect depositors from the banks, the feds required the 25% reserve on deposits. A very smart move. Jobs grew. People started moving up in bigger homes. Okay? Guess what happened? The average American family would refinance their home 5 to 7 times in their life. The banks were just cashing it in. The average was 7 years. We got that. Okay, here's what happens. With the advent of mortgage loans, the banks would collect 95% of the payment. That's twice I did that, right? With families refinancing, that's the same schedule. What'd you do to me? Okay, here we go. Homeownership became such a craze that people didn't care about the loan cost. Let me tell you what happened. Paying off the mortgage was never even considered, never even looked at. It was all about what? About what? Payment. Yeah, okay. Let's look what happened. Loan fees started skyrocketing, right? It wasn't just the banks, it was the mortgage brokers. I was one of those guys. Started skyrocketing, and soon people were paying upfront fees to acquire the loan. Yes or no? Yes. And then junk fees kept adding and adding and adding and adding, and it went wild. The government stepped in, okay, and they required the banks to disclose the junk fees, calling it an APR, annual percentage rate. Now, what happened? Okay, loan fees started skyrocketing. And the upfront fees got bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, here's what happened. Let's take a $250,000 mortgage loan at 4% note rate. Cost $179,673. The interest over the life of the loan. When you add the junk fees onto that loan, and I just took an average here, I want to stay away from the detail. 75, that's a 1-point loan, 7,500, okay, making the cost of the loan 187,173. Now you calculated the APR. What happened? It was a quarter more than your note rate. I saw APRs go from a quarter to 0.5% in my heyday when we were doing mortgages. And I funded a lot of mortgages. I had some pretty big companies. Amazing. We were charging $900 for a processing fee, and it just got on and on and on. Okay? So, to compete with big banks, guess what happened? The credit unions were losing clients, weren't lending to deposits, weren't lending deposits out, so they jumped in with lines of credit. And they started competing with the banks, and they took out the junk fees. And they give lower interest rates. This is what happened in America. Okay? To compete with the big banks, the credit unions stepped in. And credit unions did not charge all of those fees, and they grew and they grew and they grew. Anybody hear of Patelco? How about the Air Force Credit Union, the Navy Credit Union? Credit unions all over, right? Okay. Access to the funds anytime the borrower needs it. Lower payments required. Lower interest cost. Lower effective rate. More borrowing power. I mean, those are all the reasons. Faster payoff of loan payoff, of debt. Okay, I'm going faster because I want. All right, let's review how interest is computed using a credit line. Very simple. It's just your simple formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. The missing factor here, when people look at loans, is they don't consider the time. And where the cost of the loan really grows and explodes is over the time. Okay? Now, if you shorten the time period, the interest cost is lower. If you lengthen the time, it's going to be more, right? Okay. Don't fall asleep on me, you guys. All right. The borrower at $100,000 at 4% over 5 years would cost you, right, $100,000 times 4 times 5 is $20,000. Now watch this. That's on a line of credit. Would you know that on a normal amortized loan, it's pretty close? The only difference is the junk fees. But here's the major difference. Now let's look at the same loan over 30 years, borrowed for 5 years. The interest cost is $19,000. Junk fees are about $3,000. You're looking at about $22,000. So it's slightly more. So you think, well, maybe either way. But here, let's get to the bottom of it and find out what really happens. Okay? Principal deductions in that time period only $9,552. Okay. Now watch this. After 5 years using a credit line, making $20,000 extra payments annually, your mortgage is paid off in 5 years. What? How can that possibly be? Let's watch how it goes through your account and you'll see it. The saving power of thousands of dollars in needless interest costs from the banks. Here's how it works. Watch this. A home loan in 5 years, making payments, only reduce your loan a measly $9,552. You're still owing $90,000 on that loan. Okay, this occurs because the interest is loaded at 95% of the payment. Now let's go watch this. I'm going to skip through this one and go right to the meat here. Okay? All right. I'm going to show you something. All right. Now I'm just going to cut through it. I'm going to get right to the point. You see, as your money sits in your account, the banks aren't using it. You're using it because it's lowering your principal, meaning you're earning less interest. That's what happens. Think about this. How many times in a month do you make a deposit into your account? Once? Twice? How many times do you write your bills out of your account?
Daily.
Well, not daily. Once or twice. I don't know about you guys, but I usually do it usually the 15th and the 1st of the month. Meantime, that money sits in the bank. It's called your daily average. Now that money in an ELOC is working for you and not the banks. You see the spread between your deposits. Let's say your deposits are $10,000 and you write out of that account $8,000. That's $2,000 in the spread. So you got two things working for you. The spread that you leave in the bank because you don't want what? You don't want to get any non-sufficient fund deposits, right? Charges. And the daily average now is working for you. Here's what it looks like. All right, now let's just look at this account for a minute here. You got a deposit. This is just a normal checking account. You make a deposit of $5,000. You got a balance of $5,000. Look at those daily averages. Now, daily averages are computed by dividing those balances by 30 days. That's all it is, all right? Notice when the deposits come in that your daily average is higher. As you start using the money, for your house payment, going to the store, utilities, and all of that. It starts dropping down until you make the next $5,000 deposit, in this example, and it goes back up to $250. The banks are using that daily average. You're not. When you combine it with an LLC, you start using that money, not the banks. Now, think about this for a minute. On that daily average, how many clients does a bank like B of A have, or Chase? Is that a lot of money, yes or no? That's a lot of money, right? Okay. Are they paying you for that money? No, in fact, sometimes they charge you monthly fees. Okay. Now watch this. What if we, here's what a credit line looks like now. This is not combined yet. So you get a credit line of $100,000, you make your mortgage payment out of it, take $20,000 out that 1 year, and your available funds drop. The amount of money borrowed is $20,000. Maybe you buy a rental property with it. But that's how a credit line works, but if it's not tied to a checking account. Now let's tie the two together. Okay, here's what it looks like. Now watch this. Here's the two of them tied together. Notice that you make a withdrawal of $20,000, funds available are $80, funds borrowed are $20, right? You go out and you buy your property, and then you make your deposit, just like I said. So that's going to affect what? Your balance and the funds borrowed and the funds available. Now, watch what happens here. See, it works as one account. Now, watch what happens here. Just, okay, when I take this and show you, just hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Now, in that particular instance, the spread was $1,500. The amount of deposits made and the money paid out was $1,500. That's the spread. Plus, we're going to take the daily average and the spread. Now, watch what happens to this account. This is going to blow your mind. Both the spread and the daily average are now reducing your line of credit, okay, that you used, okay, to pay off your loan. So if you take $20,000 out of your line and you make one payment towards your loan, and then in the rest of the year that builds back up, in the second year you do the same thing. You make a $20,000 payment and get your loan. This is what happens, and it builds back up. So this is what happens. Watch this. Okay, so now you got it, the spread. So you reduce your credit line by $18,000 a year by doing that with a spread of $1,500 a month. Now watch this. Now you add your daily average to it. What does it look like? Here's what happens, folks. This is amazing. Okay? Over the same time period, you have a $90,000 balance with an amortized loan. At the end of 5 years, it's paid for. Did you get what I was just saying? You didn't change anything else except make deposits and pay your bills. But what did you do? You captured the spread, and you captured the daily average, and you applied that to your loan. That's all you did. Instead of the bank's using it, you're using it. Is that simple? Anybody not get that? Yes, go on. I get a drink of water while he does that. Question, what do you have?
Can you please expose with an example? Let's say I have a mortgage at 3% and a line of credit at 5%. How do you combine those accounts, and how do you do it?
Well, okay. First of all, you got to understand your checking account, right? Okay, has debits, right? Has deposits, and you paid out expenses, right? So what if we take and put a line of credit with your checking account? And what if that line of credit, every time you made a deposit into your checking account, it now became a payment against your line of credit?
But these are two separate accounts.
No, they're one account. That's my point. See, what you're missing is we combine them into one account. Now they become one account. When on a line of credit with a credit union, they become one. They tie a credit line to it. See?
So you have to go to a bank and tell them to tie this up? Or like
No, you got to go to a credit union. Banks don't do this.
Banks don't do this.
Credit unions do. Okay? Does that make sense?
Here, can I just say, when he says tie them together, it's not literally like you have two accounts that are connected.
Okay.
You're replacing your checking account with your line of credit, and you're writing checks out of your line of credit.
Oh, okay. So if I already have a line of credit, regardless of whether it is bank or a credit union,
right?
I mean, I can start paying the bills from there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
See? Because think about this for a minute. The daily average that you have in your bank account, who's using that, you or the banks?
Banks.
Banks are using it, right? Yeah. But if you tie a credit line to that, and let's say you get a credit line for $20,000, that's it. And you write a $20,000 check to your mortgage payment and you drop it instantly, right?
Right.
Okay, now what are you doing? When you make your deposits to your credit line, right? What are you doing? You're paying that down, aren't you?
Right.
through your deposit and when you pay the bills out. Now that money stays in over a period of time, right? So you're making deposits on the 1st, pay your bills on the 15th. That daily average, those 15 days, are reducing your amounts.
But your mortgage is at like 3% and line of credit at 6%.
Doesn't matter. Interest rates don't play because remember the formula for simple interest, it's over time.
Okay.
Okay. So when you accelerate the payoff, your daily cost of interest is lower. See what I'm saying? Because of the use of the money. Does that make sense?
Do you have a calculator for this? Is there a...
Yeah, we do. We can even if you we'll send you some calculators that you can actually plug it in and compare it. We actually do. Okay.
Okay, that'll be nice. Thank
All
you.
right. Did everybody get that now, or did I lose everybody on that?
I don't get the part where, so you
Go
take the 20,000 and you pay off your mortgage.
Right.
So, but your monthly payment remains the same because you just paid the principal down.
No, your mortgage. When you make a $20,000 payment, okay, against your mortgage. Now, if you have it outside the line, it's going to be different. You're going to pay the $20,000 against the line, okay. But if you have it together, you make the $20,000 payment, right? You take it from the credit line. You take the there he is. You take the $20,000 against the line, and then that also reduces it because it's your mortgage balance at the same time. I know that sounds a little bit confusing. Your mortgage is $200,000, right? Okay, just think about it. Your mortgage is $200,000. Over here, you got a credit line of $20,000. What if you took that $20,000 out of the credit line and moved it over? Now, it happens automatically. I'm just going to show it to you in two different accounts. You move the $20,000 over to the $200,000 mortgage. How much do you owe on the mortgage?
180.
180, right? You accelerated that payoff pretty fast, right? Now, how are you going to replenish that credit line? By making deposits and making your bills. It automatically replenishes. That's what we're trying to tell you. It's automatic.
Instead, what you're saying is whatever mortgage payments you're making to your bank, you make it to the line of credit.
Exactly. You got it.
Your payment doesn't change because
Yeah.
right?
It still counts because it's all worked out.
Go on, Frank.
Can I say that you're right, your payment doesn't change?
Hey, go.
But your payment's made up of two things, principal and interest.
Right.
And when you pay down the principal, now your payment on interest is lower, which means your payment on principal is higher.
Right.
Right? That's how you end up saving interest money, because you change the mix of principal and interest.
I'll tell you what. Hang around afterwards, and I promise you I'll go through it step by step. I'll draw it out for you, okay, so you can see it. I'll even give you a copy of this. Is that fair enough? Okay. Because sometimes it takes a little while to digest. It's not that complicated once you get it. But look over here. It's automatic. See, the average family would spend the extra money that they have. It wouldn't accumulate in their account, would it? Think about this. If you got $1,500 left over every month, and the next following month you have another $1,500, you got $3,000. Does that money stay in that account, or does it sometimes get spent? See, here it's automatic. We capture it, so you can't spend it. That's the difference. It's automatic. That's why it works. If you had to do it manually, it's not going to work. Okay. So each time you make a purchase using your credit line, you automatically start paying off with your deposits. Your deposits become your payments. That's how it works. Take money out, you make your deposits. See? All right, I think you guys got it. I'm going to mark. I've got a special testimony for you guys tonight. This is a lot to cover. I will give you this sheet right here so you guys can study it. Whoever wants it, let her, Denise, know, and we'll do it, okay? So, Mark, I know you came a long way. We might give up speed networking, but I want you to go ahead and share, because he drove here to share this. Mark just closed a deal for $175,000. Would you like to know how he did it? Yeah?
I listened to Gary.
I confused everybody tonight.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I'll stand.
Here, you got to use this.
Yeah. Are you Frank?
I am.
Hey, Frank.
He's got $100,000. No.
There you go. Okay. I'm a high school principal, so I probably don't need this. I'm not going to use this.
No, we're online.
No, we're online.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Okay. So I will use this. So I have a loud voice. I'm used to talking to classrooms. So look, what it comes down to is in August I started with Renatus, and I called Gary up and I said, "Hey Gary, I'm interested in possibly making some extra money, changing careers." Gary gave me everything. Well, I went to one of these, and they basically outlined all the steps that you're seeing here. So I just followed through a number of the steps, and I probably should have followed through for a few more. I probably made Gary a little frustrated with me because I just jumped in. And what I did is I basically followed what this outline is saying. I capitalized on additional funding from because I didn't have enough money to buy a house, but I've done a couple flips in Tahoe. Tahoe has been very good to me. Found a property that had the right numbers. Went in there. I have those types of skills. Fixed it up with my cousin. We sold it very recently, and now we have about 175 that we're going to be reinvesting in another property. So, in terms of processes, I really appreciate the structure and the framework of what Gary's showing you now in terms of the simplicity of how to play with money differently and think about money differently. And once I started doing that and sort of reduce some of the fears and had a platform and frankly a coach, I'd call Gary and say, hey Gary, this is what I'm thinking about. He said, are you crazy? Absolutely not. Or think something differently. It helped me process some of my fears and anxieties and saying, okay, should I do this? Should I not do it? And then I just did it. And you know, I'm ahead of the game right now and plan to continue being ahead of the game. So that's probably everything I have to say. I know I'm very late. I apologize. But how was that, Gary?
How much did you make on the deal you just
What was your net
closed?
profit?
About 175.
Well, can you kind of start at the beginning, how you found it, and maybe go through just the basic framework of it
Sure.
That would be great.
I've been in Tahoe for a number of years. My family has a cabin, my cousin and I, and so we drove around the neighborhoods, looked for distressed properties. We have a team up there in terms of real estate agent, a mortgage broker, and we basically said, hey, listen, you know what? This is what we're looking for. Here are the price points that we need. If you know anyone selling a house, or we would knock on doors and talk to the people at Meeks Lumber, which is the lumber yard up in Tahoe, who's working in very grassroots. And then we found a property that the numbers were made sense, and that was vis-a-vis someone contacting a real estate agent that we had talked to, and he said, hey, listen, we have a property for you. So I didn't find it on Zillow, and we sort of just went about that. That was our strategy, essentially, was more of a grassroots effort. But now my strategy is very different. I've just been in New York, Las Vegas, Houston. I'm looking also in Arizona because I'm looking for about between 12 to 18% cap rate, because now I've got a pot of money. So I want to be strategic in how I use that pot of money, and I'm trying to build teams in specifically New York and in Vegas right now, so that way I can launch over there. So my thinking is somewhat different.
What does cap rate mean?
Oh, cap rate is capitalization rate. Basically, one of the things you're going to want to do is say, how much money do I think I can make net? So basically, after I spend everything I need to spend, taxes, insurance, maintenance, etc., divided by how much you paid for the property gives you a percentage. So, if you're looking at, depending on the area, right, cap rates range from a good cap rate's 10 to 11. If you can get between 11 and an 18% cap rate, then you are making money, three times net. Yeah.
All of that we teach.
Yeah, literally, I call Gary and I'm like, Gary, this is an idea, and again, I'm a newbie. So I was sitting where you're sitting. I don't know how many of you are new here, but in August. Yeah.
So you said 10 to 80% cap rate. Are these in California you're talking?
Yes.
Well, I found a couple 10% cap rates in Sacramento and Modesto. And I haven't really seen anything that I'm interested beyond that. But beyond 12% is not in California, at least not within my price range, right? I mean, I'm small. I'm just beginning, so I don't want to overinflate, right? I'm looking for very modest.
These are like flip properties, which you are saying 10% in California?
These are. I'm looking at two strategy. I'm looking for buy and flip. And I'm also looking for buy and hold. For buy and hold, I'm looking for multi-unit, above 5 units. That way I can use a pro forma and have the rents pay for the financing. And you can pick up those all day long in New York for like $275,000 and bringing in about $2,500 net. But that's in New York, and and also in Vegas, but really Houston, New York, Arizona. Those are the hot markets for larger cap rates. Okay, I'm going on and on. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and network right now.
Thank you.
Hi.
Denise Patterson.
Nice to
How are
meet you. Nice to meet you.
So, I see a lot of, what is it, deer eyes in the headlights or something, a lot of thoughts and questions here going. So, just a couple of things to touch base with, and then we're going to get into networking for about 10 minutes. There's several things that you've heard repeatedly here. One is you've heard knowledge. And just with Mark talking, I could hear your head spinning, and what that's telling you is what you don't know. Once you realize what you don't know, it's really important to get to know what you need to know. And that's done by education. The financing up here that Gary shared with you, definitely reach out to me at the end if you want to get something on that, and we will get that to you. So you're here for real estate investing, and you can see it's vast. It's very, very vast. Another thing Mark talked about were teams. And that's getting bird dogs out there. That's getting real estate agents. That's getting contracts. These are all things that have to work in motion to make it work for you and make it more a success. And that's really what we're about here. It's about make money now. So we do want to sit down and have you, or have you stand up and network. But we are also going to be going into another segment, and it's make money now. It deals with real estate and what needs to be done to get there. And it's your choice if you want to stay and go further, but we're taking a one step further and in multiple streams of income to make it work for you to get where you want to go faster. So again, if it's not something of interest for you, thank you so much for coming. Reach out to whoever invited you, get more questions answered, and we'll go from there. So, and then we'll start this at about 8:30. We're going to ask whoever's going to stay to please sit down, and whoever isn't, go so we can share with you what else we have to share. Okay?
Oh, perfect.
Great. Thank you. Is that all right? Okay, everybody, we're about to start.
Cool. So, I have a question for all of you. How was that? Did anybody learn anything tonight?
Yes. Lots.
Cool. So what I want to do now is something a little bit different. As an investment, we've talked a little bit about knowledge. We've talked about, having the ability to really turn this around for yourself, especially people that are new, even people that are not so new, that are doing it now. There's an opportunity to really just change that whole concept of what you're doing and make it work for you, as well as being an opportunity to really just take this to another level. And it's about you, and it's about being involved with a team and a community of people that allows you to do that. And we have, as a group, we work with an educational platform. It's the one that we recommend. Of course, if that's not the platform you want to work with, that's okay. But we want to share it with you because not only is it a great platform of education, but it's also an affiliation. And it allows you to earn money now, what we call make money now. And the opportunity is endless in terms of how that works. Where's my clicker? I got it in my pocket. There we go. Okay, so I gotta turn it on. Is it on? Now it's on. We recommend an organization called Renatus. Now, there's a lot of gurus out there that talk about education. But what we want to do here is really get into an opportunity that allows you the opportunity to really just take this to another level. And we call it a 5-star opportunity in terms of leadership. Learning how to be a leader and letting the leadership of the team work for you. So working together, making this happen, allowing things to work for you, and then having the education platform itself. In every category, whatever real estate allows you to have, we have it. Okay? And that's from fix and flip, wholesaling, multifamily, Airbnb, everything that's out there, we have it in this platform. We have a community. You've seen some of that community tonight. We have offices throughout the entire United States. And we work with those offices. So if I want to do a transaction in Colorado, I call our Colorado office. Now, do I have to go to Colorado to do this? I can, but I don't have a team in Colorado. I need to find a realtor. I need to find a title company. I need to find a contractor. So why can't I just meet with those people and talk to them and call them and say, can you help me? And guess what? This organization is that way. We help each other. We're not going to hide any information from you. Everything we have is on the table. Timing. Timing is everything. This market is crazy right now. And most of the people out there are saying it's going to continue for a while longer. Even though interest rates are going to go up, and we know they are, people have gone through the foreclosure mess, and they're now coming back and wanting to buy a home. And there are not enough homes out there for people. And so the timing of real estate and the ability to make money through different channels is unbelievable. And then there's an income potential. And we call it affiliation. So all of you know how Amazon works? So when you go to Amazon, right, and you buy something, can you then sell something on Amazon if you want? Mm-hmm. Do they have a marketing department? Not really. Their customers are their agents. eBay's the same way. Okay? This is basically what this organization allows you, is that type of environment. This gentleman here is freaking awesome. His name is Bob Snyder. And he is the most ethical, most knowledgeable. He's a multimillionaire. And he put this organization together with the concept of helping everyone become successful. He established it from a passion of creating financial freedom through service to others. Now, I'm not being paid to be up here, and neither is anyone else. My job is to help you to be successful. If you are successful, will that make me more successful? Yes. Okay? So the more people I help, the more people become helped. And if we spread that word, all of a sudden, life changes for a lot of people. People that you know, people that you don't know yet. Just think if you were to share that information tonight about the velocity banking, how many people know what that's about? Now, is it going to require you some further information on how to explain it to people? But if you get it to the point where you can explain it, how awesome would that be? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
Would that be cool? And it's real estate and business ownership as a powerful combination. A lot of investors use real estate as a transactional type of environment. We treat it as a business. And if you treat it as a business, the business will work for you. The Renatus mission is to empower 1 million entrepreneurs, not 1 million investors, 1 million entrepreneurs with knowledge, tools, systems, and support to become financially free. That's the concept, and that's what we work with. W-2 employees, as you know, they keep about 33% of what they earn. Okay? The government takes most of that out before you even get your paycheck. Okay? So what you need to do, and for those of you who were here earlier listening to my radio program, you need to become a business, because the amount of deductions that you have at that point changes. When you invest in real estate, the deductions that you have, the businesses that you open. All of a sudden, your cell phone becomes a write-off. Your car becomes a write-off. When you go have a meal, it's a write-off. As an individual W-2 employee, none of that exists. So you have to treat this that way. You've heard about velocity banking. Retiring your credit debt and your mortgage debt quickly so then you can use that money properly and save thousands and thousands of interest. I just did a velocity banking hit on my, I got a line of credit. I added $10,000 to my mortgage. I reduced my years by 3.5 years and saved $38,000 in interest. Okay? And I was just telling them before, now my payment on my line of credit is like $72. But since I'm making my payments through the money I get in, my effective payments is like $22. So it's costing me over the next year about $300, not even $200 to pay off $38,000 in interest. Think about that. Pretty crazy. But there's a knowledge level that goes with that. We have an education platform, and our educators are not professors. Each of them are doing real estate. Each of them are millionaires. They have to do at least $1 million in business in real estate. So these are people that are coming up in front of you and talking about what they've done. Not what they want to do, but what they've done and what they're doing. And then you listen to them and you say, okay, they're doing it this way. You can either follow them or not, but they're successful. When I first started getting involved in this group, I was doing short sales. I've done 200-300 short sales. I listened to one of the class on short sale. The gentleman I listened to on the class, he's done thousands. And I'm listening to the class and I'm going, I never tried that before. That sounds like it could be done. I didn't know about that. And all of a sudden, I tried those things, and guess what? They worked. Because he had done more than I had. So if I'm going to learn from someone, let me learn from someone who's really successful. The paths of the curriculum are very clear as to what you want to accomplish, how you want to get there, and then the local mentorship that goes with it. We start by what we call an essentials course, which is really to start the education. Have the essentials that are required to become an investor. You need to know how taxes work. You need to know how money works. Okay? You need to know how to get into a contract. You need to know how to analyze a property. And you need to know how to do it properly. Those are parts of what the essentials will teach you. You need to have the terms with real estate. What are the terms? If we're going to have a conversation and you don't know the language I'm speaking, what's our chance of having a successful conversation? It isn't going to happen. If you're talking to someone and wanting to get, let's say, borrow $200,000, and you can't speak to me and explain to me or answer my questions, what's the chance of me giving you $200,000? It's not going to happen. So you need to have that education to really put you to the spot where you can make this work. And then as you grow, you go into what we call our advanced training, which really takes you into a whole separate level of how to do this all. And it takes you in depth, I mean nitty-gritty stuff, step by step by step, how to pull it all together. And that's how he was able to do it. He was able to, as a new person doing this, all of a sudden make it work for him. And make $175,000. Now, is that going to happen for everybody in this room? I don't know. Could it happen? Yes. But who's going to decide that? Not me. It's you guys. In our essentials, we talk about tax and legal. How to set up different structures. How to do corporate structures, LLCs, S-corps, how they work for you. What's the proper time to set one up? How does it work for you? Credit management. If you have bad credit, would you like to correct it? Because people say that you can do this business without money. I got to tell you that's essentially not really true. You got to have some money because you're going to have to put at least a deposit down if you go into contract, right? So you got to have something. And if you have bad credit, how's your chance of getting anything? It's not going to be there. So you want to make sure that you understand how credit works and how it works for you. Self-directed IRAs and 401ks. There's $27 trillion of money in IRAs out there that can be invested in real estate. The problem is that most people don't know it. because they think they can just invest in the stocks and bonds. The reality is you don't have to. You can convert it to self-directed and then take that money and make it work for you. Real estate foundations, again, how to really make that work. What do you need to know? Marketing. What's going to make you different than the 50 or 100 other people out there knocking on doors? Why is someone going to want to talk to you? What are you going to say? What is your knowledge level compared to someone else knocking on that door? When you're talking about someone's property, when you're talking about someone's future, you need to know what you're talking about. And you need to present it in such a way that you're out there to help someone, not there to make money. If you're out there to make money, you're in the wrong business. If you're out there really trying to help people, then it will work. Red flags. You walk in a property. What do you have to know right away when you walk in? What are you looking for? Okay? What's going to tell you this is not a deal? And there are many that I look at, and they're not a deal. Now, the person who brought it to me says, "Oh, this is a great deal. I love it. It's fabulous." So it takes me like 5 minutes, and I'm going, "Okay, so what about this?" And when I start asking them questions, "What about that?" "Oh, I didn't check that. Oh, I didn't know that." So all of a sudden, the deal that they thought was fabulous is really not. So if they had not worked with me or our team, might they have gone into trouble by doing that deal? Having that mentorship is there for you. Deal of the decade. Finding deals that are not on the MLS. Right? Once it hits the MLS, the world knows. But there's probates, there's divorces, there's landlords that don't want to be landlords anymore. There's a ton of stuff out there. How do you find them? And then, how do you put them into contract and acquire them with different methods? Subject to land contracts, lease options. There's millions of ways to take control of a property. If you know what they are, you can offer those options to different people. Correct? And then these are the classes we have for the accelerated stuff. Auctions, buy and hold, commercial real estate, commercial lending, purchasing financial strategies, fix and flip, foreclosures, investment property management. We now have a new class on Airbnb. Private and hard money, how to set up, how to set up these large organizations so that you can borrow money, millions of dollars. Wouldn't it be nice to have that education when you're talking to a multimillionaire and saying, "Can we work together?" If you know what to say, if you know what that deal is, might they want to work with you? And then, even though you haven't done a property, you're part of a team. And you can use our properties as suggesting, my team is doing this property right here. You can invite people to some of the properties that we show. We have group coaching, one-on-one coaching, live classes. This is in fact, I'm going to mention live classes. They're online, and then if anybody wants to come on this Saturday, we're going to be in Sacramento. This class will be broadcast live. If you're interested in attending, it's going to be, her name is it's on Building Business Credit. Her name is Megan Christensen. She works for Credit Suite, and she's helped thousands of companies develop business credit. You could get credit for your business even though your personal credit is horrible. Because your Social Security is not used. It's how to develop that and how to make that work for you. Monthly workshops. That's what this would be. It would be a monthly workshop. Weekly study groups, webinars, calls. This happens every day. There are webinars available. There are calls available. We do a conference call for this group every Wednesday at noon. Okay? There's meetings that happen literally 3 to 5 times every day from different parts of the country that are brought to you.
How long of a duration is this? Is it for, meaning, are the classes for a specific duration, like, a 3-month period?
Lifetime.
Okay.
Again, we're not like the other guys. Okay? We have, like I said, 60 groups out there. We primarily focus on these types of things. These are primarily wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold, notes and deeds, and borrowing money. Those are the ways to make, really the 4 basic ways to make money in real estate. And the best way to do it is to network. Your network is your net worth. The more people you have in your network, the more money you will make. So where is Renatus? First of all, we're part of the Inc. 5000 group. We're one of the fastest growing companies in the country. Last year, in 2015, we were 1,800 and something. 2016, we were 1,300 and something. We've grown at 340% over the last year. This year, we're going to probably break the 1,000. So of all the private companies out there, we're one of the top 1,000 companies growing faster than the rest of them. And this is the company you're getting involved in. How would you have liked being involved with IBM or Google in 2001? Think about that. If you had bought stock in Google or in Apple years ago, where would you be? Now, it took them, 5, 6, 7 years to get to where they were, to where they started to get it going. Renatus has been around now for it's a little over 7 years. We have put all our systems in place. We have put all our products in place. We are ready to go. And right now, we are ready to take off. And the opportunity is there. That's why I was talking about timing. Timing is everything. We're ready to go to massive growth. And the question is, if you want to be part of that, then you have the opportunity to do that. Timing. So I want to talk about what's going on here. Hello. One of the things that we do offer, which I mentioned to you before, was we have an affiliate program. We do not, as eBay, Amazon, these companies out there have their people that their customers actually sell the product for them. So we pay you to actually grow your team. And we pay you incredible amounts of money. There is no product purchase necessary to be part of this group. However, if you want to learn how to do real estate and you want to learn how to do it well, then it makes sense to do it. You purchase one essential, okay, which is the essential class.
One class?
It's 11. It's 12 class. 11 classes. It's a package.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you bring 2 other people involved and also purchase it, and then you make $1,000 forever from that point in time. If you purchase the combo or the maximum package, you make $10,000. And I'll go through the prices here in a second for you. You get 4 facets of income. Income from selling our products, income from mentoring others to sell the products, you get overrides from developing a team, and then you get income from upgrades. And you can earn 50% profit on everything that you write in terms of bringing people on board. Now, you're going to need a team anyhow, right? So why wouldn't you want to have a team that's as educated as you? The more education you have, the easier it is to work together. And if you're on the same platform and learning from the same people and working in the same concepts, then it works better. Wouldn't you agree?
And this is just on the products, on these products.
Yes.
Not like on the actual buying of the home or anything.
No, this has nothing to do with the home. This is a separate business.
Got it.
Okay? So if you were to purchase the Essentials course, it's $2,000. And you get 11 classes. Each of the classes runs about 7 hours. Okay? They're handled by practitioners. After 1 year, it's like a probationary period. You want to make sure that you keep legal and ethical and that you're doing everything right, because the education you get, you can take advantage of people. And we want to make sure that you don't do that. But once you've met that guideline, then that education becomes lifetime. It will never be taken away from you at all. And every upgrade, everything that we do in terms of new classes, that's all included. There are no additional fees. The second area here is basically you're getting this part here, and then you're getting 2, I guess you call them study tracks. And that's $8,000. But if you buy this and you sell 2, you're going to make $1,000 every time you sell one. Okay? Here, if you pay the $8,000 and then you sell 2, after that it's $4,000. Here it's $20,000 is the course. And every time you sell one after 2, you're going to make $10,000. Talk about cash flow. Incredible. 1,000, 4,000, 10,000. If you do this and you become part of the group and you start really doing this, just think about this. So if, let's say you came on board and let's say you invested $20,000, okay? I'm going to make $10,000, okay? And then let's say the next person you bring on board, right? Now, there's going to be a training period. So the first one you bring on board, you're going to make $500, and I'm going to make $9,500. The second one you bring on board, you're going to make $500, because I'm going to do most of the work for you, correct? After that second person, from that point onward, you become me. And now you start making $10,000. Everyone that you bring on board. And then after the two. And then everybody that they bring on board, you're then training them like I'm training you. And you get the overrides on everything they're doing. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. You make money from upgrades. So if people start at a lower range, which a lot of people do, and then they realize, wait a second, I need to know more, and then they upgrade. So it's not like you pay, if you pay $2,000 and you decide to upgrade, you only pay the difference. You only pay the $18,000. You don't pay you don't pay it twice. Okay? So you make money from direct, qualifying, overrides, and upgrades. Crazy. So the opportunity, once you become a 5-star, so if someone came on board, let's say you came on board, and you brought in, you bought the X combo, right? I'm going to make $29,000 by helping you to become me. And while this is happening, by the way, we're doing real estate. So this has nothing to do with real estate.
Right.
There's just a separate business.
Though, but
yeah.
We're buying and selling in the background. Meanwhile, this is still running.
Correct. So you're running two businesses at the same time. Now, some people just do this.
Yeah.
Some people just do the real estate. And then there's a lot of people that do both, which I do.
Right.
Okay? Why not? Okay?
Right.
Questions? So the question is, you pick your desired income. Now, this is cash flow. This is quick cash flow. You know, real estate can sometimes take 5, 6, 7 months to do. But if you're going to build your team, why not get paid to build your team? Because we don't run billboards. You don't see us on the TV. We're not having, we don't run special meetings. What we do is we have you work the organization, and you get paid for helping Renatus expand and helping yourself to learn the process. And between that, guess what? You become more successful. Because you're helping others. You know, Zig Ziglar said it best. The more people you help become successful, the more you will get what you want. Do you want to make 3 million, 6 million, 10 million? That's up to you. It's all in your hands. It's everything that you do. To get started, we have basically what we call an IMA, which is you have access to what we do and how we do it. Now you don't have the education, but you still have access to our systems. Okay? Then you select your level of education. You go through the marketing. I'll answer your question in a second. You develop your marketing plan. You implement it. You work with your mentor. And then you get to the point where you can plug into your real estate investment strategies and work with the people within the group to make that work for you. So success is really your decision. Okay? Whether you decide to do this or not is in your hands. If you want to learn how to become me or become Gary, become Mark, become Denise, become successful people, you need education. You need to have someone to work with that can direct you. Okay? Mark said it before. He called Gary, and Gary told him, you're out of your mind, because he was going in a direction that didn't make sense. Okay? But then he redirected him, and he makes $175,000. Come on. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay? Questions?
Sorry, could you just go back that one slide? Because I think that answers
Which one?
This one.
Okay. Any questions? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so I'm just going to, we're kind of running out of time here, and I just kind of want to put all the notes together. Number one, we don't pay you. Number two, this is an educational platform out there that's the only one out there. The way Mr. Snyder set it up was to set it up for 4 income streams. All we're doing here is presenting you, this is what we do, this is the education that we needed to get where we got to keep us out of trouble. Lo and behold, we've been blessed with the 4 separate incomes to come with that. So it is essential, if you're going to go into real estate, to find an education, and then we feel this is the only one out there. The blessing heart is we've got a marketing genius here, and we've got a real estate knowledgeable above and beyond, because he loves all that nitty-gritty stuff. But we're just putting it together to have it at your hands. I paid for Guru. Paid $17,000. Shared it with a partner, so we paid $35,000 together. Every time you went out with them, it was like they wanted more and more money. Didn't get the answer. We got simple things, but we didn't get the education. And so what's being presented here is what's worked for us and millions across the USA by the numbers he gave you at work. Right. Now, he's going to show you something. I've got some CDs for you to take that Gary put together. Anything else?
No, that's just it. But if you decide that you want to become part of our group, again, you're welcome to come to the meetups at any time. Understand that. This is not part of that. So if you do decide to become part of Renatus, we have put together a 40-page, basically a marketing playbook for you as to how to make this work for you. Not only is it marketing, because the marketing that you do for education is similar to the marketing that you do for real estate. It's just a different product.
Sure.
Okay? And then we have CDs. We are on Facebook Live, which is what this was tonight. We have a meetup. We have a meetup group. We are broadcasting throughout the country. And so our concept here is to allow you the opportunity to just not network here, not just grow your team here in California, but to grow it throughout the United States. So you have relatives in Florida. Can they become part of Renatus? Yes. Can they become part of your real estate team? Yes.
Which you would want them to, because then you
correct.
Out and build their. So in other words, we would be coming on as under your team.
That's correct. That's correct. Any questions? Are we good? Cool. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much.